Hey everyone, this portion of Sunday GUNDAY is brought to you by the Sonoran Desert Institute. I know a lot of you guys out there like to repair and modify your own guns, so if you're looking for a way to take your hobby to the next level, SDI can definitely help you out. The online programs at SDI cover armor courses, gunsmithing, ballistics, woodworking and finishes, shooting sports management, and a lot more. Plus, all of the tools and materials are shipped right to your door for hands-on practice. It's never been a better time to get an education that you can actually use on the job, so what are you waiting for? Visit sdi.edu or call 4800-999-4767 to learn more. Thank you again to the Sonoran Desert Institute for sponsoring this portion of Sunday GUNDAY. What's going on, everyone? My name is Talon Sai and you are watching Sunday GUNDAY. Today we're taking a look at a new pistol from one of my favorite manufacturers out there. This company produces some of my favorite guns that I own, and if I had a choice, I would bring them out to the range and shoot them on a consistent basis. That's actually saying a lot considering I have so many choices of what to bring out to the range when I am coming out and just shooting for fun. This company makes some of my absolute favorites. Now, the one we're taking a look at today is a little bit of a new spin on an old classic. The company we're talking about is, of course, BUL Armory, and we're taking a look at their new 1911 government model. This year, BUL Armory decided to sort of refresh their classic line of 1911s in order to make them the best bang for your buck on the 1911 market. This 1911 government model was derived from their trophy competition model. It's all hand fit just like all of their guns, and they are individually tested to the highest degree. Now, I'm not a huge 1911 guy, but this one might fit the bill for sort of a do-it-all self-defense or competition style gun. This government model is chambered in 45 ACP and it is in the 5-inch length. You can also opt for the Commander version with a 4¼ inch barrel. It is an all stainless steel frame and slide. They have some new aggressive front and rear serrations. There is really nice checkering in both the front and rear of the grip. And then the G10 grips on each side seem pretty aggressive, but after testing I'll decide if this is something that I could live with full time. Now, this platform, like I mentioned, is a 45 ACP, but they also offer them in a 9mm version. They all come with match grade BUL barrels, and there are 2 magazines supplied within the box. For the 9mm capacity, you're looking at about 10 rounds, and for the 45 ACP, we're only looking at 8 rounds, so I'm going to be doing a lot of reloading today. There is an extended safety lever just on the left side, so that does not happen to be ambidextrous for this model. Has a trigger weight of about 3 to 3.5 pounds. And then for the sights, we're working with just a serrated blackout front and rear, but they also have an upgraded option, fiber optic front sight, which is available for just $29.90. Now, the icing on the cake is that this platform right here comes in at $850, so I think they're definitely hitting the nail on the head when they're shooting for best bang for your buck. Now, I'm pretty excited about this gun. I don't shoot 45 ACP very often, and I really don't shoot 1911s all that often. So let's put this thing to the test with a first mag impression, and I will come back and give you guys some of my initial thoughts. Since this is only 8 rounds, let's actually do 2 for the first impression. Alright guys, first mag impression time with the BUL Armory 1911 government. Let me tell you, I've been sleeping on 45 ACP for a while, mainly because it's not a round that I would actually carry. I'm not going to get into the logistics and ideas of why I prefer 9mm for carry guns. However, for a gun that I'm just going to bring out to the range and shoot for fun, this thing feels really good. The checkering on the front and rear mixed with the aggressive G10 handles feels really good in the hand, and the shootability, it was very, very smooth, even for a 45 ACP. It's been quite a long time since I've shot 45, and this thing tracks super smooth. It does help that it is a 5-inch version as opposed to the 4¼ so you have more weight there for the slide to come back and sort of mitigate the recoil. The 4¼ would definitely be a little bit snappier, but as of now, this thing feels really good. I can live with the blacked out sights. I think I probably would prefer the fiber optic upgrade that BUL offers. However, I would really prefer a red dot on here, but that's not being offered as of right now. The serrations in both the front and rear feel really positive no matter how you interact with the slide. All the controls feel right at home. I have no problem getting to the safety selector on just the left side. Now you may have noticed on that very first mag it did not lock back all the way. I was a little bit confused, but that's probably just like a break-in period on a gun like this. Like I mentioned, they are all hand fit, and once you put some rounds through this thing, they smooth out and end up shooting even better than they do right out of the box. Now I don't want to jump the gun, but this might make me like 1911s just a little bit more than I ever have in the past. So I'm gonna keep loading mags, mag after mag, only 8 rounds here, which is kind of a bummer. But we're gonna keep loading these suckers up and shoot this thing quite a bit more. Now let's see how this thing does with a little bit of distance. Just had to dial it in a little bit. Now just for the hell of it, let's see how many shots it'll take to land at 100 yards. Gonna have to aim real high. The target's almost too small. I can't even see it because the front sight and the rear sight are just covering up everything, and I have to aim high. Gotta land at least one though. Hey, finally. That holdover with 45 is way up there. These next 2 mags are for everyone who supports the channel over on Patreon. I can't thank you guys enough for showing support for this channel, the main channel, and Side Productions in general. If you guys like these videos, you want to get access to them early, sometimes weeks and even months in advance, then check us out over on Patreon. I'd really appreciate it. Eight rounds just goes so fast. Alright guys, back for some of my final first impressions of the BUL Armory 1911 government model. Like I said in the beginning of the video, I'm really not a 1911 guy, but I am a gun guy. I love shooting all different types of platforms, and this is one that never really spoke to me just because it's not something that I would carry. You have a low round count, especially with 45 ACP. A 5-inch barrel makes this thing pretty difficult to conceal. You could have it on your outside of the waistband, but that's not really my style. However, just as a platform that's fun to bring out and shoot at the range for fun, this thing nails it. 45 ACP is such a fun caliber to shoot just because you get more feedback from the gun. After a while there, we've put close to actually 200 rounds exactly through this gun so far, and this thing already is smoothing out very, very nicely. You can tell it's pretty dirty all around, so I'm definitely gonna keep this thing oiled and cleaned, and then the more that I shoot this thing, the better it will get over time. For anyone who's curious, we were shooting some Federal 45 Auto 230 FMJ today. This thing ran pretty flawlessly with that ammo, other than a few hiccups in the beginning there, just not locking back. But now that this thing is getting smooth, it's already feeling a lot better just after those 200 rounds. Now, where does this gun fit in my personal collection? What would I do with this in the future? I think maybe competition. I'm not saying that I'm gonna go out there and film some competition style videos, but if I wanted to shoot fast and for fun, this thing would be a good competitor. Now, as you guys know, I like more modernized guns, so this thing in the 4¼ inch barrel length, maybe with a full dust cover and a rail, I could put a light on there. If I could throw a red dot on there, that would definitely be more my speed. But this thing is just a straight up classic, coming in at just $850. I think that's a lot of bang for the buck right there, no pun intended. You get 2 mags, a hard-sided case, you got that optional front sight fiber optic if that's what you choose. Overall, this is just a really well-rounded platform, and I'm glad I was able to bring this thing out for some testing today. The only thing I really haven't hit on yet is the trigger, and whew, it's sweet, hand fit by BUL. Let me bring you guys in here a little bit. If I was modifying my own 1911, I would probably opt for a flat trigger shoe on there, but again, this thing is pretty classic, so it's probably more on the 3-pound side as opposed to 3.5. Take up on a 1911, obviously super predictable. There's not a whole lot of wiggle movement in there. It does have an over travel little set screw in there. Super easy to find the wall, and then super crisp and clean brake. The reset, very tactile and audible. It's not pushing my finger off of the trigger when it's popping back. Just feels exactly how I would expect out of a BUL Armory 1911. So I think that's about all for my initial thoughts on the 1911 government. If you guys have any questions on this thing, let me know in the comments down below. Do you prefer shooting 45? I'm definitely a 9mm guy, but man, to bring out and just shoot for a couple hours, this thing is a whole lot of fun. Now, BUL has a few more releases that are coming out throughout this year, one of them being the Axe, so maybe you guys want to see some videos on that. They also revamped their Viper models. I've covered the SAS-2 Viper and the Ultralight in the past, and BUL has made some changes to those guns, so maybe we will get those in for testing here in the future. If that's something you guys want to see, also let me know in the comments down below, and I believe that's about all. So if you're new to the channel, consider clicking subscribe. I make new videos occasionally. As always, thank you all for watching, and I'll talk to you in the next one.